As the Chinese established their ties in the community, more and more people started owning land. People like this landowner and this restaurant owner have seen the transformation of Chinatown from both a living perspective and a working perspective.
I came to the U.S. during the late 1960s, specifically 1968, from Canton. I worked my way up through the system and eventually became a landowner and restaurant owner. And I now own property and businesses all over Chinatown. My children are ABCs, and they've since moved out into the suburbs. I came to this country to escape religious persecution, which I'll get into later. My role as a landowner, which I first started buying in the 1980s. At the time, Chinatown oversaw a big change. Many people from the previous generations have left Chinatown and moved out into the suburbs. Most of these people were Cantonese or Taiwanese. And the new Fujianese people who began immigrating to the United States often worked all over the United States, came from small villages with little educational backgrounds. So my role as a landowner is to provide housing for these people who often need a place to stay and work. Chinatown provided a place for these immigrants to stay and also to find familiarity that they don't have in a new country. In some instances, whole communities have uprooted themselves from parts of Fuzhou into New York City. This familiarity helped the transition for Fujianese immigrants. As a restaurant owner, I bought a business from a previous owner who had moved out of Chinatown. I hired many workers who owed money to smugglers, snakeheads. They often had to stay in rooms right above the restaurant and often very crowded conditions. There was a lot of overtime of workers because many of them moved all over the country. There was a network of employment opportunities all over the United States that starts with employment agencies and ends in restaurants, factories all over the United States. The restaurants are a big part of the Chinatown community. They serve both the tourists as well as the people who want a familiarity with food and language and culture. As long as that demand for familiarity, Chinatown will exist as a place for opportunities to work and live. Now, I came to the United States to escape religious persecution because in China, during the Cultural Revolution, the communists had an ideology that was entirely atheist and would persecute those who were religious. Also, because of this ideology, many of the religious people in China affiliated themselves with the Nationalist Party after World War II, which led to after they were driven out to Taiwan and everywhere else in Asia, and some people came here. I had to escape the persecution so I came here to the United States. My current church is the Episcopal Church of Our Savior, where the service is offered in both English and Cantonese, and this further served immigrants who seek salvation but wasn't able to find it in China. Chinatown's role as an ethnic enclave for most immigrants is to place to settle in a new environment. Although it's a tourist trap to some people, there are also many people who live and work here. And as long as immigrants continue to come to New York, and especially Chinatown, Chinatown will exist because there's always a demand for a haven for immigrants in a new land.